Do you find yourself constantly chasing after success, only to feel unfulfilled and empty once you reach your goals? In this video, we'll explore the wisdom of Buddhism and how it can help you cultivate true happiness in your life. Lesson 1. Understand the nature of success. In Buddhism, success is not tied to material things or achievements. Success in the Buddhist sense is about inner peace and contentment. It is not about how much we have but how we live our lives. Buddhism teaches us that everything in life is impermanent. This means that the success we chase after is temporary. Wealth can disappear, status can be lost, and achievements can be forgotten. Because of this impermanence, relying on external success for happiness can only bring us short-term satisfaction. It is never lasting. Once we achieve one goal, we immediately move on to the next, always feeling incomplete. True success comes from understanding the mind and freeing ourselves from the cycle of desire. When we stop chasing after things and learn to be content with what we have, we discover a deeper sense of joy. Buddhism encourages us to shift our focus from outward achievements to inward growth. This is where real success lies, in the peaceful and calm mind that is not dependent on external circumstances. When we understand that success is not what defines us, we begin to see the world differently. We no longer need to prove our worth by accumulating more or achieving more. Instead, we learn to appreciate the simple moments of life, to live mindfully, and to experience joy in the present moment. This understanding of success leads to true fulfillment, something that external achievements can never bring. Lesson 2. Recognize the source of true joy. In Buddhism, joy is not something that comes from outside of us. It is not something we find in objects, people, or achievements. True joy is a state of mind, a natural expression of our being when we are in harmony with ourselves and the world around us. Joy comes from within. It is found when we let go of our attachment to desires, when we stop seeking happiness in the future and instead find it in the present moment. The Buddha taught that desire is the root of suffering. When we are constantly desiring things we do not have, we create suffering for ourselves. But when we let go of this desire, we create space for joy to arise. To find true joy, we must practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of being fully present in the moment, without judgment or distraction. When we are mindful, we are able to experience life fully. We can appreciate the small things, the simple pleasures that we often overlook when we are caught up in the pursuit of success. Joy is also found in compassion and kindness. When we act with love and care towards others, we open our hearts and connect with the world on a deeper level. This connection brings a sense of joy that is far more lasting than any material success. Buddhism teaches that by practicing compassion, we not only bring joy to others but also cultivate it within ourselves. When we recognize that true joy is not dependent on external circumstances, we free ourselves from the endless chase for success. We realize that we already have everything we need to be happy, right here, right now. Lesson 3. Focus on personal growth. In Buddhism, the focus is not on external achievements but on inner development. Personal growth is about transforming our mind and cultivating positive qualities such as kindness, patience, and wisdom. This growth is what leads to true joy, not the success that comes from wealth or recognition. The path to personal growth in Buddhism begins with self-awareness. We must first become aware of our thoughts, emotions, and actions. By observing ourselves closely, we begin to understand the patterns of our mind and the ways in which we create suffering for ourselves. Once we are aware of these patterns, we can begin to change them. Personal growth is a gradual process. It requires patience and dedication. We must be willing to look deeply at ourselves and confront the parts of our mind that are filled with negativity, fear, and attachment. But as we do this work, we begin to see changes in our lives. We become more peaceful, more compassionate, and more joyful. One of the key teachings in Buddhism is the idea of impermanence. Everything in life is constantly changing, including ourselves. This means that personal growth is never finished. There is always more to learn and more ways to improve ourselves. But instead of seeing this as a burden, we can see it as an opportunity. Each moment is a chance to grow and become a better version of ourselves. When we focus on personal growth, we shift our attention away from the external world and towards our inner world. We stop measuring our success by how much we have achieved and start measuring it by how much we have grown. This shift in focus brings us closer to true joy, as it aligns us with the deeper purpose of life, to evolve, to become more mindful, and to live with greater compassion. Lesson 4. Find joy in simplicity. Buddhism teaches that true joy is found in simplicity. When we simplify our lives, we free ourselves from the distractions and desires that keep us from experiencing the present moment. Simplicity allows us to connect with the things that truly matter and find joy in the ordinary moments of life. More success, more possessions, more experiences. But the truth is, the more we accumulate, the more complicated our lives become. We become attached to our things, and this attachment leads to suffering. Simplicity is about letting go of what we do not need. It is about stripping away the unnecessary and focusing on what is truly important. When we live simply, we create space for joy to enter our lives. We are no longer distracted by the constant pursuit of more, and we can appreciate the beauty of what we already have. Buddhism encourages us to live with mindfulness and gratitude. When we are mindful, we notice the small things that bring us joy, like the warmth of the sun, the sound of the wind, or the taste of a simple meal. These moments are often overlooked when we are focused on achieving success, but they are where true joy is found. Living simply also means being content with less. When we are content with what we have, we stop seeking happiness outside of ourselves. We realize that we do not need more to be happy, we only need to change the way we see the world. This shift in perspective allows us to experience joy in every moment, regardless of our circumstances. Lesson 5. Realize the illusion of ego. The ego is the source of much of our suffering. It is the part of us that is always seeking validation, recognition, and approval. The ego wants to be seen as successful, important, and better than others. But this desire for recognition is based on an illusion. The ego is not who we truly are. In Buddhism, the ego is seen as a false sense of self. It is the part of us that is attached to our identity, our achievements, and our status. But these things are not who we truly are. Our true self is beyond the ego, beyond the labels and roles we play in life. When we are caught up in the ego, we are constantly comparing ourselves to others and striving to be better than them. This leads to a cycle of competition and dissatisfaction. No matter how much we achieve, the ego is never satisfied. It always wants more. The teachings of Buddhism help us to see through the illusion of the ego. When we realize that the ego is not our true self, we are freed from its grip. We no longer need to prove ourselves or seek validation from others. We can simply be, without the need for external success. This realization brings a deep sense of peace and joy. When we let go of the ego, we stop trying to control our lives and the people around us. We accept things as they are, without the need to manipulate or achieve. This acceptance allows us to live more fully in the present moment, where true joy is found. Lesson 6. Slow down and enjoy the journey. Buddhism teaches the importance of living in the present moment. In our pursuit of success, we often become so focused on the future that we forget to enjoy the present. We rush through life, always thinking about the next goal or achievement. But the truth is, life is happening right now, in this moment. When we slow down and take the time to appreciate the present moment, we begin to see the beauty of life. We notice the small details that we often overlook, like the sound of the birds, the feel of the breeze, or the warmth of the sun. These simple moments bring joy when we are fully present to experience them. Buddhism encourages us to let go of our attachment to the future and to focus on the journey, not the destination. Life is not about reaching a particular goal or achievement. It is about how we live each moment along the way. When we slow down and pay attention, we find that there is joy to be found in every step of the journey. Slowing down also helps us to be more mindful of our thoughts and actions. We become more aware of how we are living and how we are treating ourselves and others. This awareness leads to a deeper sense of connection with the world around us and brings us closer to the true joy that comes from living in harmony with ourselves and the world. Lesson 7. Avoid comparison. One of the biggest sources of suffering in life is comparison. We often look at others and compare ourselves to them, thinking that if we could just be as successful, as wealthy, or as talented as they are, we would be happy. But this is an illusion. Buddhism teaches that each person's path is unique. We all have different experiences, challenges, and lessons to learn in life. When we compare ourselves to others, we are not seeing the full picture. We are only seeing a small part of their life, and we do not know the struggles they may be facing. Comparison creates feelings of inadequacy and jealousy. It causes us to focus on what we lack rather than appreciating what we have. This focus on lack leads to suffering and takes us further away from the joy that is available to us in the present moment. When we let go of comparison, we free ourselves from this cycle of suffering. We learn to appreciate our own unique journey and to be content with where we are in life. This contentment brings a sense of peace and joy that cannot be found through comparison. Buddhism teaches that true joy comes from within, not from being better or more successful than others. When we stop comparing ourselves to others, we can focus on our own growth and find happiness in our own achievements, no matter how small they may seem. Lesson 8. Embody acceptance. Acceptance is a key teaching in Buddhism. Life is full of ups and downs, and we cannot control everything that happens to us. but we can control how we respond. When we accept life as it is without trying to change or resist it, we find peace. Acceptance does not mean giving up or resigning ourselves to a life of suffering. It means recognizing that there are things we cannot control and learning to be at peace with them. This acceptance allows us to let go of the need for success and to find joy in the present moment, no matter what is happening around us. Buddhism teaches that everything is connected, and everything is unfolding as it should. When we accept this truth, we stop fighting against life and begin to flow with it. This flow brings a sense of ease and joy that is not dependent on success or external circumstances. When we embody acceptance, we are able to live more fully in the present moment. We are not constantly striving for something more or trying to change what is. Instead, we are able to appreciate life as it is, with all its imperfections. This appreciation brings a deep sense of joy that is far more fulfilling than any worldly success. The teachings of Buddhism offer a path to true joy, one that is not dependent on external success but on inner peace, mindfulness, and acceptance. When we prioritize joy over success, we free ourselves from the cycle of desire and find a deeper, more lasting happiness. The path to joy is one of simplicity, personal growth, and compassion. It is a path that leads us to live more fully in the present moment, where true happiness is always available.